I'll be explaining a little bit on top of it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So AR is again a projection of a graphic data
Okay.
onto a real world.
Okay.
Okay. In simple terms, for example, if you go to this shoe market, so
Mhm.
you have these shoes, these are real, but the
Yeah.
data related to it, like hush puppies and its price, this is
Mhm.
graphic generated data, and
Okay.
it is relating to the real world.
Okay.
So this is what augment reality is. It's in reality you're augmenting is like projecting.
Okay.
So augmenting stuff over the reality is augmented reality.
Oh, augmenting or the reality. Okay. Okay.
Yes,
The
yes.
shoe is an augmenting or it's a reality.
Shoe is a reality,
Okay.
and
Augmenting is whatever
the
you're adding.
augmenting, that is projecting, the things you are projecting is hush puppies and its price.
Okay. That was okay.
For
Augment.
example, we'll take this scenario. This is an Apple image.
Okay.
Okay, this is an image. So based on this image, you are projecting an apple, a 3D object of an apple, to
Okay.
show how the apple actually looks like for a
Okay.
children.
Okay.
So on this base of the reality of an image being tracked, you are projecting an apple related data.
Okay. Okay.
So that is an means in a nutshell what is an AR. Okay,
Okay.
so I will so AR it is. So VR means most of the people confuse between AR, VR, and MR.
Yes, MR. Yeah.
AR is augmented reality. VR
Yeah.
is virtual reality.
Virtual reality. Yeah.
In virtual reality, nothing is real.
Yes.
Virtual reality, nothing is real. Everything is virtual, but it will give you a sense like you are. It is real.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
if you go to a movie, if you have a 3D movie, when you wear a 3D glasses, proper 3D glasses, and you feel like the stuff, the 3D is like the screen, the bow, the raining stuff and all, you feel it like real, but it's
Yes.
not, it's never real, it's virtual. But the 3D effect of it give you a feel of real.
Yes.
Similarly, the virtual reality is everything is virtual,
Yeah.
but the sense of the equipment or the device give you a feeling of reality.
Okay.
Okay, mixed reality.
Yeah.
So mixed reality is it's like a combination of virtual reality and augmented reality, we can say in some cases.
Okay.
It's actually a mixture of where a similar to augmented reality, it's also based on a real world. You can augment a data, but
Okay.
eventually this augment data also can interact with the real world.
Okay.
In this augmented reality, it doesn't interact with the real world. Based on the real world data, it will just only project things.
Mm-hmm.
In this, it can also interact with the real world.
Okay.
Okay, so that is MR. So it's an, we can say, the next level of AR. Okay.
Okay.
So in a close means in a basic manner, with this example I can means we can have a clear classification, like this reality and this is virtual.
Okay.
Okay, in complete reality and virtual, you see this is virtual reality. This is
Yeah.
completely based on you can see with a cardboard box or
Yeah.
any device which is mounted to the head.
Yeah.
And this is augmented reality. Augmented reality we can do with a mobile device or any device which you project data, any device which can project data.
Yeah.
For mixed reality you need an headset, and you can also will be able to see the real world also.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
in this below example I will expand this. Okay, okay, okay. So this is VR. You can see in an ocean, you can project a duck, a mighty duck it is.
Yeah.
So it's a virtual reality. So since it's a virtual, you can do anything. A duck
Okay.
floating, a huge duck floating in the ocean, but it will give you a sense of reality. You can say that this is virtual reality. In augmented reality, the same duck you can be using in your living room.
Okay.
Okay, projecting, if you want a deer or lion to be sitting in your room, you want to have a sense of it, then you can project a lion or tiger in your living room and you can see it through a device. That
Okay.
is augmented reality.
Okay.
Now, if you want the same tiger or duck, you want to sit on the table or behind the table or something like that,
Mhm.
this is where mixed reality comes.
Okay.
So you can see this example, this duck doesn't interact with the table.
Okay.
It will be floating.
Okay.
But in this mixed reality, it will recognize this as a floor and it will recognize this as a table, and based on it, it will render itself. So it won't be floating, it will fall down and place on the floor.
Okay.
See, in mixed reality, it interacts with the real world. But in augmented reality, it never interacts with the real world. It's just floating.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. But
So
in augmented, we can't like put on the table. The duck is like exactly sitting on the table. We can't do it. Do the.
yes, you can do that. You can do that. But for this to define, you need to have a plane.
Mhm.
And this plane, while placing, when you are trying to place a plane, you should be saying that the plane I am placing should be on this table.
Table. Okay. Okay.
But eventually, it won't recognize this as a table on the spot.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay, this really means you will be will be knowing more when we do a practical thing, then it will be more clearer to you.
Okay.
Okay. And this is like in mixed reality, what happens is whenever you put the device, it actually calculates the entire environment itself,
Yes.
and it will means we have tools like Microsoft HoloLens and all. So inbuilt, it will create an environment, and the whole environment scans itself and creates the mesh
Yeah.
generally like you will, and it will say that this is a floor and this is it will recognize the different dimensions of each aspect of the room, height and dimension, and based on it will recognize this is a walkable area and this is not a walkable area. So based on that, it will place accordingly.
Okay.
But it doesn't have this sense. If you want to do with an AR, you need to do you on your own. You need to say, so this is my plane and this plane should be resting on this plane surface.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So that's the major difference. And so currently the AR is in a huge boom, but AR is already been working out in retail services, construction and maintenance services, tourism, education sector, health, navigation system, games, and military and defense. It's already been there.
Okay.
Okay, so for few examples from each of this. IKEA mobile app, it's a mobile app. IKEA, I guess you know. So that app has a augmented reality feature.
Okay.
With that app, you can actually try to place your furniture within in your living room or bedroom anywhere, and you can check how would the furniture be looking if you buy that furniture.
Yes. Exactly. That Hyderabad, they are like installed a huge one.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah.
So in this Nintendo Pokemon Go, I guess we have a lot huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pokemon Go we might have heard. So that game is completely based on augmented reality. That is location based augmented reality. That we will go the classification of AR in further. We'll get to know. And Google Star Wars stickers, Disney coloring book, L'Oreal making app. Know a lot of Instagram filters, Apple iPhone filters. You will have this, right? Filters, the face filters. Those are all basically works with an augmented reality itself.
Okay.
Okay, so you see a weather channel in the studio which shows the raining effect and all on the display, right? So it's similarly an augmentation of reality. And the US Army, I mean, now the all the armies which we are is currently using all the devices like in jet planes and the drones. They use this intelligence of augmented reality to project the data. Okay, so no. the augmented reality we will be classifying into majorly into three categories. There are actually five types, but basically generally we can in on the base level we can classify into three categories.
Mhm.
Okay, one is marker based, second
Mhm.
is markerless, and third one is location based.
Okay.
Okay, marker base is something which you means you have a marker, and on the base on the marker you project the data.
Okay.
Okay, so for example you have this marker, and on the base of marker you need to project the data. Like you have a floor plan, on the base of the floor plan you want to project your flat, yeah, apartment based on the floor plan. You want to project you and you want to visualize it. So
Okay.
you should have a target. A target is similar to marker. So
Okay.
on the base of the target you will recognize the target, and based on that you will project the related data.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. um, so second is markerless. So markerless is something which doesn't need a marker. You don't need a target to project the data. You have a data, you can try it and place it in your real world. For example, you see this is the furniture app, like the IKEA mobile app. There is no target. You have the real world, this is your living room, and you want to try the sofa in your living room. You can just in your living room you can render the sofa and place it. You can scale it, rotate it, reposition its dimension, so that it will be means fitting in your room or not. So it doesn't need a target. Basically it generates the data irrespective of the target and place it on.
Okay.
Okay, this third one is location based. And this location base is something based on location, GPS, compass, or accelerometer. You can based on this you can do that. Like for example, on the base of location there is one is uh, AR yellow directory app. So
Mhm.
based on your location it will project what are the nearby restaurants, medical shops, and all
Mhm.
when you stream. So similarly, the Pokemon Go app which you play, Pokemon Go game, it's based on the location base. So
Okay.
it basically when you reach to location, there only you will see the Pokemon, and then you can throw your ball and you can catch it.
Okay.
Okay, so these are the major three classification.
Okay.
Okay, now if I want to go a little bit like what are the different AR SDKs which we are working on. So you might see AR Kit, which is for Apple. AR Kit is an SDK software development kit uh, for developing AR apps only for iPhone.
Okay.
Okay, AR Core is the again a software development kit which are libraries which you use for developing an application for Android, Google AR. Okay, and these are all Vuforia, AR Toolkit, MaxST, and Wikitude. These are the leading third-party technologies which also use means which have both support for Android and iOS for projecting the for developing AR application.
You will be teaching Vuforia also, no, for us?
Uh, yeah, for means for our development, we'll be using Vuforia since it's free.
Okay.
These Vuforia, Google AR Core, Google, Apple AR Kit are free.
Okay.
Okay, and because they have the free versions for up till something.
Okay.
These one AR toolkit you have free, but only for few segments of application that I
Okay.
can show. Means I will share this document. You can go through this, and you can have this in detail. Okay, so we will be next next like we will be going how to interact with Vuforia majorly. Okay, and this is the base, the complete basic of a augmented reality, and in detail we can go through while we are developing an application.
Mhm.
Okay, so for to develop an application we need to either we need to use any of this SDK,
Mhm.
and this SDK should be integrating into an development environment.
Okay.
Okay, for our case we will be using Unity 3D engine.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So you have a laptop, a computer.
Yeah, a lot of laptop.
So I guess it is an high configuration system, if I'm not
Not
wrong.
high configuration. It's okay, good, quite okay.
So okay, you need to install an Unity engine.
Okay.
Okay. After installing Unity engine, I will let you know how to import Vuforia,
Uh-huh.
how to create, means how to integrate the Vuforia into Unity, how
Uh-huh.
to install it, how to give the settings for for developing an augmented reality.
Okay.
For the start, we will go for a target based application,
Okay.
target based, and then we will go for what is required, that is model based.
Okay.
We will project a model, and based on the model we will be generating a data accordingly.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So so since we don't have this one prerequisites, you want more into a theoretical stuff, or we can you want me to start the practical?
Both are required.
Huh?
Both practical and theoretical. Stuff.
Theoretical, I have a lot of theoretical stuff, but that means if you want to go in detail, I will go into detail.
Yeah, let us go into detail because I'm very new to this world, so just
Okay.
want to know more. That's all.
Okay. So, okay. Since okay, you want only this segment of AR to be noticed, or AR, VR, and MR also you want to be going into a little bit of detail?
You mean to like theoretical what AR works and VR works and MR works like that?
Mm,
I want AR VR is enough. MR is mixed, so we can come combination of both.
mm.
First, you go in depth of VR, so we'll see VR like how it. After seeing the VR, like I can decide.
Okay. 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 So I have currently I have told you three types of AR, right?
Yeah,
Marker based AR, markerless AR, and location based AR.
yeah.
And I have told there are two more types. Okay, those two are projection based AR, superimposition based AR.
Okay.
The other two types are. So
Mhm.
projection based AR, for example, you can say this: you have a hand, on the your hand you can project a keyboard, and you can track your fingerprints, and based on that you can have you can get the data.
Yeah, that is what we are working on that one.
Okay, so this is a projection based AR.
Uh-huh.
Projection based AR, you can work with you can have a virtual keyboard, you can have a virtual mouse. um, Virtual mouse, if you want to try this, we can work on a practical session using a
Uh-huh.
virtual mouse.
Okay.
Okay, we can do that. um, and sorry, and superimposition is something which is similar to uh, a marker base, that is markerless base, that is superimposing. If on any object you have any object, and based on that you superimpose a projected data.
Uh-huh.
For example, you have a TV or a microwave, and you
Uh-huh.
want to explain the functionality of a microwave to any
Uh-huh.
person who is unknown. Then you will superimpose, you will have the data of already the microwave,
Uh-huh.
and based on that you will superimpose the data on that project, on the object.
Okay.
Okay, and
Okay.
this superimposition and this projection based data, we have means we can't do it in a free on a free kind of project. Means you need to have a paid subscription of uh, mm, what we say, Vuforia plugin and all.
Okay.
Okay, but eventually we would try to cover that. Most probably I will try to use the simple terms, and I will let you know how to do that if you have
Okay.
a paid version.
Okay.
Okay.
But in your this one training, this one the paid version will be there, right?
Paid version, yeah, means I would have the paid version, but
Oh,
eventually for you to develop things, you need to have a paid version.
okay.
Understand? Means
Yeah, yeah. No, no, no. What I'm asking you is, telling you is, see, we're going to pay, take the paid version. The
Mhm.
company will going to take version. But for me to learn, so you'll be teaching me those paid version training also will be given, right?
Okay, this thing, right? I would have a conversation with uh, the company. Means we will have a conversation with Sham
Okay.
Satyam with this,
Mhm.
and I will update you on this. Okay, I will
Okay.
eventually teach you how to do with the paid version.
Okay.
Means to how to do this superimpose data.
Okay.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
So now again going to an introduction AR. If you want to have a kind of games, right? So this is you have two different tables, and you can recognize this as table, and you can this table you can create a game on top of it.
Are you sharing your register or nothing?
Okay, so you are not able to see my screen. I
No,
guess I
no.
thought you will
It's
be
got stuck.
okay. Hold on a second, I will share you my screen. Okay, you seeing, right?
Yeah, yeah. I can see now.
So this is a glass, and this you are superimposing a data. This is
Mhm.
either you can do with a, as I said, this the other two types you can also classify in the first two types. That is, this is you can also do it with a marker type.
Mhm.
This is you can take it as a marker or a target, and you can based on that you can superimpose the data.
Okay.
And this is something which is MR, and this is also something which is MR.
Mhm.
Okay, and okay, how this now we'll go for how AR works. Okay, okay. So first and most common and inaccessible method of using a handheld mobile device. So most common method of we are using an AR is using a handheld device like mobile. But eventually you will have a high you can develop a high end of AR application using these devices: Magic Leap 1, Blade, Meta 2, Microsoft HoloLens.
Okay.
This is basically high end of mixed reality, but eventually to have a lot of things like tracking of your eye position, tracking where you are actually looking, so that based on your tracking you need to project data and all. So for this to happen you need to have these kind of devices.
Mhm.
Okay, or else if you are only using mobile, then you can only use GPS, gyrometer or accelerometer to track the device position and all, and based on that you can generate the data.
With this online classes, how I will going to experience like this micro HoloLens method?
This is something we won't be teaching you in means here. So this is something it's related to device and device specific. So we don't have the device as such, and we won't be able to teach this.
If I come to your institute also, it won't be there.
Institute, that we need to have a contact with the institute, then we need to
At least
check
one
with
day
them.
or 2 days, so that I should that I can feel that experience.
I
Like
also need to check with the device with an institute, since I don't know means whether the institute has carrying a device or not.
okay, okay, yeah. Can you can you check and let me know tomorrow? So that,
Sure will do, sure will do.
yeah.
Okay, and so AR device is like basic optical eyewear AR. So this is something with the AR glasses. You might have Google AR glasses, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So in those Google AR glasses will take you. This is optical AR eyewear AR is comes with the Google AR glasses. Is generally uh, generates the data. Microsoft HoloLens Meta Vision referred to as optical. as illustrated in the image, they don't use video to capture or render the real world. Instead, you look directly to the visor, and the computer graphics are optically merged with the scene. So it's like when you might have seen a Spider-Man movie. In that movie, the Spider-Man wear these glasses and he can actually speak with an AR, the AI, and also the AI will project the data accordingly according to his vision, right?
Yeah.
So similar terms, uh, this AR will works. AR glass will work. Okay. Now again, so target base. This is 3D spatial mapping. Okay. 3D spatial mapping is an important aspect of AR. So see this, what happens is it will generally um, observe your environment, and the based on their environment, if you have an iPhone, what kind of
Yeah.
device you have?
iPhone.
iPhone you have, right? In this iPhone you have a called AR scale.
Mhm.
So with that actually you can check the depth of it, will check it will what you can have is you can put 2 points on a real time world and you can check the distance, what is
Yes.
the difference
Yes.
between the 2 points.
Yes. Yes.
So this what happens is this 3D spatial mapping uses the knowledge of uses the sensors like depth sensors, lighting sensors, and it will calculate the depth with the camera, and based on that it will define like this is a point and this is a point, and it will actually calculate the distance between them. Okay.
Mhm.
So 3D spatial mapping is generally you have an environment, and in on the base of environment you will gather the data in accordance with your environment, and then it generates the data accordingly.
Mhm.
Okay. Then so yeah, this with this spatial mapping only, it's like if you want to have uh, what happens is, okay, so if you want to show you have a model, right? So like a car, if you imagine a car, so with 3D spatial mapping you can actually describe this is the bonnet of the car, or you want to show it's the back boot of a car. If you want to show that, then with the spatial mapping, if you can render the entire car, then based on the data generated of the car, like this meshes you see, right? You can
Uh-huh.
see these meshes. So similarly this meshes is generated of the entire car, and
Mhm.
based on the generated you can define what part of segment is related to what, and then based on the segment defined you can generate the data. Okay. For example, in the house, if you want to have if mm, what can I say? Imagine you have in a house. If you want, if you move your camera and you are mobile, and you want to define this as a roof, or this as a wall, or this as a floor to place things, right? So for us to define the whole area or environment should be mapped, and that is mapping is called spatial mapping. Anything in the environment you are trying to map it with your graphic data, that is mapping, spatial mapping.
Okay.
Okay. So for then again, when you defined a when you have this define data and you want to map it as a floor, and if you write the functionality of a floor, like anything like a what should I say, a fan should be hanging to a uh, roof of the building. So whenever I try to project a fan, it should be automatically attaching to the roof,
Okay.
right? So these kind of functionality you can do using a spatial mapping. Like for example, again for to get more clear, if you want to develop an AR application, a spatial mapping application for a supermarket, and in the supermarket you have a different segment sections, like on the left side you will have a frozen materials, on the right side you have this uh, groceries or kitchen households in the center, clothing section on the top. If you have these kind of segments, then you need to map this entire supermarket with your spatial mapping, AR spatial mapping.
Okay.
Then if you want to have an you have a customer and he was asking for you to I want to check for the frozen section, then you can open the map and you select the frozen section, then it can show you the path in the from the door of the supermarket to the frozen section.
Okay.
That is done using a spatial mapping because it's already mapped the entire supermarket for you, and it
Okay.
knows and it also knows like what kind of data you are looking. If you are looking for a frozen section, it will navigate to the frozen section, and particularly show you where is the ice cream also.
Okay.
Okay, that is done using a spatial mapping. And this is like this is more into a detail like how the AR works using a wearable
Uh-huh.
and with a sensors kind of thing.
Okay.
So if you want me to take this also, I will be explaining. So okay, so using a variable, what happens is this. Um, okay, okay, using a variable. See, this is a device. Okay, the center of a device we call it as a. From the center of the device, you will drawing a ray.
Uh-huh.
Okay, which is exactly like your both eyes as a center point of the both eyes.
Uh-huh.
You will pointing a pointer also, so that is called a gaze, and the pointer and the point you're displaying is called a gaze pointer.
Uh-huh.
So this gaze pointer will exactly will be projecting will be identifying your data instead of your entire vision. The gaze, the gazing ray and the pointer pointing to any point is the it will detect the object.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so in your vision, you have a TV and your entire living room, but the pointer, if you're pointing towards the TV, then it will recognize that as a TV.
Uh-huh.
And this is a gesture. In this gesture, you should be having a finger sensors
Okay.
that will be using a neurons. You
Uh,
have a virtual neurons which will be attaching to your different body parts, and based on that, you can define the gestures.
okay.
Okay, so if you want to zoom that particular section, you will be using a pinch, like in mobile for iPhone you will be using a pinch, zoom and tap, right? Tap and all. So these functionalities you will be defining for your sensors.
Uh-huh.
Then with the device and the gesture, you can build your whole AR application,
Uh-huh.
and based on the data you receive with the gaze pointer and the gestures, you can project that data for the activity to be done.
Okay.
Okay, this is more in detail how the AR display techniques work. I will share you this data, this PDF. You can go within detail, like exactly how the eye, what will your vision of viewing angle, what will your vision angle
Mhm.
and all.
Okay.
Okay, so these are the major AR toolkits. Again, Vuforia, AR Core, AR Kit, and AR Toolkit,
Okay.
as discussed. Again, AR Core and AR Kit. AR Kit is only for Apple. AR Core is only for Android. And Vuforia and AR Toolkit are the third-party developing plugins which support both for Android and AR Core, Android and iOS. Okay. Um, so if you are going for the Vuforia supports Android, iOS, UWP is Universal Windows Player, and we will be using Unity 3D editor for it. Okay, and so AR Core Toolkits devices, AR Core devices will be using anything with OpenGL 3.0 version.
Okay.
OpenGL 3.0 is a graphic communicating a layer over the graphic communication.
Okay.
Okay, so you need to have a OpenGL 3.0 on the base level as a graphic communication line. Then you can use an AR core uh, for developing an AR app.
Okay.
Okay, these minimum devices are Google Pixel. These are the devices, something which is defined. You will now we have a lot of devices which actually covers the OpenGL 3.0 version. Okay. AR toolkit. Okay, AR toolkit is something which you have a lot of extra functionalities like single and stereo camera or position and tracking. You can do it with the AR toolkit plugins. Tracking of simple black squares also it will be tracking. Planar images it will track it for you. This toolkit. Camera calibration will will calculate for you. Optical stereo calibration and head mounted display support. These are all be available for AR toolkit. Hence, as I said, it's not for free, means you don't have all these functionalities available, but is only for the paid purchase, not for the free purchase. Okay. An
Okay.
AR kit, it is for Apple, as introduced by Apple. As I said, it has a true depth camera which defines when you see it will calculate the what is the exactly depth and all. Visual inertial odometry. It's a visual inertial odometry is basically the sense of your vision. The uh, generally a human FOV field of view is generally a 130-degree,
Mhm.
means the eye which you actually see is a camera angle. We know currently have around 110-degree 120-degree of camera vision, right? You are
Yeah.
generally our eyes looks with an angle of 130-degree.
Okay.
Okay, so this visual inertial odometry is a part of like giving a complete field of view.
Mhm.
Scene understanding, light estimation, both are the kind of on similar terms. Based on the light, it will try to it will try to generate the data related to it.
Mhm.
Basically you have a object you are generating on the, you imagine this object will be in a lighting. Obviously whatever we develop, whatever the data we generate is based on the imagining that it's in a broad daylight. But
Mhm.
AR toolkit has a feasibility of light estimation. Based on the estimation also you can handle the things accordingly. And render optimization is something which is make your phone faster to generate the data. Okay.
Okay.
And in AR targets, AR targets can be of various types. Basically a marker which I showed like an Apple marker. Coded marker. Coded marker is something is like QR code.
Mhm.
Whatever the QR code is looking is an augmented reality. So
Okay.
base you have a coded marker, there is QR code, and the based on the QR code you are getting a data.
Yeah.
Okay, that's an augmented reality. Images, simple images you can do, or you can have a multiple targets, not even a single target base. You can have a multiple target. Based on the multiple target you can generate multiple data. Text recognition, simple shapes, object recognition, spatial maps, and geolocations. These are again means each type can be mapped to these all types of things. A marker can be used as a text, can be used as a marker. A simple shape can be used as a marker. A object, complete object recognition like a engine of a car or engine of a bike. Okay, so that kind of object recognition you can do it with a marker. Spatial maps you can do with a marker, and geolocation you can do it with a marker. So these are all types of AR targets, means different markers types and types of objects you can keep with for recognizing the pattern.
Okay.
Okay. Again, simple marker, something like this. If you have a kind of object and you can generate an object like this cube. It's
Okay.
it's an representation of you are having visualizing a 3D cube, not exactly projecting out of the mobile. And yeah, coded marker is something like, as I said, QR code. This is something you take it as a QR code, coded mark. I guess it's written somewhere. No, right? Okay. So this, if you have an entire image, okay, and you can have these coded markers. This as a giraffe, projecting this as a giraffe, and this is a showing as a tree. If you want to have multiples in a single image, then you can use a coded marker. Okay. Again, simple examples of coded marker, something emblems like this, and this also construct to a QR code. Similarly, this you can imagine this as a QR code also.
Okay.
Okay. Then multi targets. It's like same thing in the same image. This is called a skybox. What we call this as a skybox. It's a skybox is like a unwrapped of a box. So if you have a box, cardboard box, and you unwrap things, and it will unwrap all the sides, it will be outlying like this.
Yeah.
So in this image, you will place your already all different types of targets, and based on the position of the cube of the box, you can display your content, generate your content.
Yeah.
Okay. And text recognition. This is like HOH, all this OCR, character recognition. So that can be done. It's like you have a H, on the base on H you want to show different types of alphabet generating from the H, you can do with the text recognition and all. Simple shapes is like this is a cube, it will recognize only as a cube, and this was only as a cuboid.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so recognizing the basic shapes, primitive boxes like triangle, plane, cube, simple shapes, it will consider as a this thing. And if you want to recognize an object like a complex shape, this object should be loaded to your cloud or anywhere where it's actually uh, tracks all it put its already tracking points. And when it actually places all its tracking point on this object, then you place it on the real world. See, these are the tracking points.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, this tracking point is the page is that when it matches to your real body, then it will recognize this as an object, and then you can project the data accordingly.
Okay. Okay. This is object recognition, right?
This is object recognition because it's not a simple shape. This
Mhm.
is something, whatever you keep, it would recognize this only as a cuboid.
Okay.
This may be a box, it may be a TV or anything, but it only recognize as a cube. This is
Mhm.
something different. You want to recognize the complete object as it is, then that object should be similar to what the model you have placed in the cloud.
Okay.
Okay. and and this is the location based, that is again Pokemon Go app on the base of location. And so we have some technical issues in augmented reality. So field of view, visual purpose, perception, focus, resolution, and refresh rate, and ergonomics. So these are the some difficulties, like field of view. Generally, as I said, the eye has about, sorry, misinformation before, is not 130 degrees, 160 degrees.
160. Okay.
Yes, human eye has about 160 degrees horizontal and 200 degrees combined by binocular FOV, field of view, means the one you can
Okay.
see. But the devices we get, mobiles and everything, is not up to that extent. So again, we can't capture the real entity of the data which we actually see. Again, visual perception, and when you are actually having the data on the real world, and you can see a parallaxing effect on your real time. It's
Okay.
like when you place an object in a camera, it won't be exactly in the same position as you see in the mobile. It may have a few inches of difference.
Okay.
That is actually because it's capturing, and your view is again 160 degrees, but your camera view is around 110 or 120 or whatever the degrees, and the captured data whatever 120 degrees it should be placing in that device within the respective resolution.
Okay.
So based on this you will have a positioning parallaxing effect.
Okay.
um, and focus. So if you wear any glasses or something, right, so what happens is when you wear certain devices you will have a focus issue, depth of field issue. When you place a lens or something like that, you remove the lens, you seem the object may be a little bit closer to your eyes,
Yeah.
or when you remove it, it will be further longer. So this will again, you can't have a real time of data, real time projecting data as your real view is. And if you want to focus more, your eyes will get strained.
Mhm.
huh? Similarly,
Okay.
this is the refresh rate. We have now currently most of the device, high end devices have a 120 refresh rate currently, but
Mhm.
our eye if refreshing rate is way much faster. So sometimes when people generally wear such kind of device, they will feel dizziness and feel like vomiting sensation kind of things and all.
Mhm.
So this is because your eye refresh rate and your device refresh rate may differ,
Okay.
and your way of color capturing, the device may capture the color at different rate, means the red you are actually seeing with your eye may differ when it's actually capturing through a device, right? So these kind of differences will happen with the AR devices. Okay. So again, ergonomics is something which is it's not comfortable with. So you need to have a handheld devices. So these heavy devices may be heavier and all, nothing, and you need to carry it for long. So this is something which it's not in general use, and also will cost you kind of penny, actually penny, more penny like that. So you need to carry a device, and these will be wearable and should be moving and means, through your environment, and that may be heavier and it may be costlier and all. So yeah, these kind of problems we may face with AR. These are generally technical issues. And where was this? Business marketing. Okay. No application in AR, as I explained in a small image. No, this is like a in detail kind of, like in each sector how it will be, means on the base level how we can do this. So in AR, for if you want to have any in business marketing, the base level you can go for have a marketing AR card. So you have your uh, what we say visiting card, and this visiting card you can project your company data or your profile, as in sense you can say. So this visiting card will be acting as your marker or a target
Mhm.
for data. And since if you have a visiting card as your name, and based on that you can project your video, what you have done on what is the profile, what you are aiming at and all. Okay. Or any company visiting card, you can generate the data of your company. In education, we have seen a lot of education in medical sector especially, there is a lot of apps already there projecting the in the medical science, dissection of an of animals and all, it's been doing through AR now.
Mhm.
Okay. Industrial, especially industrial training, this is I guess what you are actually focusing at.
Yes.
You have a machine and you have a glasses set of glasses, and this actually set of glassing is projecting this data.
Yes, exactly. What we are doing, I'm working on this one.
Yes. So yeah, so currently this is the AR is completely in this kind of visual training. So on this you can generate a manual. On manual or you can read out the data. So you are focusing on something, like if you are sorting this machine or something, this you can read aloud the data like an audio file. You can play that, you can play a video file. So how to fix this, or you can communicate with the other end. He can telecast this data to the other guy like this in the video, and he will
Yes,
explain you things.
yes, yes.
Okay. And in retail sector, this is something like that. We have a latest app, I forgot the name, which actually tries you this data. You can have your selfie model and this object in a real cam world. The object, your dress you are trying to will place on your position on your body, and you can give you it will give you a feel over the dress or any shoe, whatever it is, how it feel like. That is a AR mirror. You can see this in a YouTube video. I mean, I've seen it. And some other sectors where AR has been application in theaters, and this is something like an augmented reality. This is like uh, having both sides of AR and VR in your kid, like this is floor and you are trying to plan, you are drawing something kind of thing. You can recognize this as a floor and you can paint all the things on top of it. So these are and yeah, in iPhone mobile itself has a lot of information, means a lot of inbuilt AR apps you can try with. And this is an higher end of augmented reality, is for vast applications. These are all on the theoretical sides, and it's on the POCs has been not developed using the geographical information systems. And this is like completely out of context, and it's on the heavier side of augmented reality. On a whole glimpse, I will just show you a glimpse like what is geographical information system is like. As picture depicts, you can have an estimation, like it will define you all the, if you currently if you are in a Bangalore, so if you want to get a demograph of Bangalore, okay, in Bangalore you want to know how is the water system connected, how is the drainage system connected. So for this to be having, you have a complete view of demographic, like you have a Bangalore entire map, and you focus on the Bangalore focus map, and it will show you the project data of how is the drainage system connected. So
Yeah.
this is done using a GIS system. So you need to feel the entire data. What is the drainage system? What is the water flow like? Where are the knobs? What are not? Where is the water not going to? And where is the feasibility of its connection and all? Water pump houses and all. So these system entire need to be feeded in your data somewhere in the server and all. And based on your location of being targeted to, you can generate that particular information, geographic information based on your requirement.
Okay.
Okay. So this is a higher end of application which is means developing and still not in the uh, in complete statements. We haven't, it's in into the general public we don't have it.
Okay.
Okay. Sensors, what kind of sensors we can use in attached to an AR augmented reality in application? We can use all these sensors: fingerprint, radiation, heat rate monitor, heart rate monitor, pedometer, hair humidity sensor, thermometer, barometer. I will show you this slide. This slide the information like what are sensors you can use it, and based on these sensors, how can you generate the data? Okay. And now currently what happening is, whatever we want to develop an augmented reality, we are doing with a plugin. Okay, since Unity we use a Vuforia plugin to develop an application.
Mhm.
And you, if not Unity, use, if you are using Android, is to Android, you will be using AR core. So every plugin has its own restrictions. Like some plugins have its own feasibility of an AR, means implementation of AR. Some other plugins have the in-depth definition of an AR.
Okay.
So we have these limitations always available when you are going through plugins. Okay, but eventually we will be using writing. You will be using Unity plugin.
So
And
V4A is a plugin to AR. That's all.
sorry.
V4A is a plugin to AR.
Yes, Vuforia is a plugin
Mhm.
which helps you to develop an AR application using a Unity engine.
Okay, okay, okay.
Unity engine has already projecting tools, like it will. Unity engine is helpful for delivering the application to an end platform. End platform is like is an Android device, a mobile device, a PC, a console, or any head mounted devices you are specifically divided with, or your any Raspberry Pi device or anything like that.
Okay.
Even Unity is an engine which delivers to that end platform. And and Vuforia something, a plugin which helps Unity engine to understand what is AR.
Okay, okay.
And then Unity will deliver it to the specific platform. This is now the platform, like for if it's a mobile device, it has only these sensors, and you can communicate, the AR communicate with those sensors through Unity, like that.
Okay.
Okay. uh, okay, augmented reality describes a technology that blends. This is basically a tracking. How you can track with the AR, the head stabilize. You can tracking requirements means to initially to calibrate any kind of thing. You need your head to be stabilized and body to be stabilized. This is we called local stabilization.
Mhm.
Then we have world stabilization. Your local position should be coordinating with the world. For example, if you want to have a AR application, and you want to have a AR compass, augment compass, which will be navigating to the northeast position of it. For initially to calibrate, like what rotation have, means you have your mobile in hand and you want to check what is the amount of angle I have rotated. So you
Okay.
need to calibrate. First you need to position yourself to the north. Then actually you position yourself. Then you need to position yourself with the actual north. Then it will be telling you how much angle from the north you have been rotated to.
Okay.
So these are the tracking requirements if you want to have a device and you want to do that. And for the GPS kind of tracking, we have active and passive. Okay, active have mechanical, magnetic, and ultrasonic tracking, GPS, Wi-Fi, and cell locations. Okay. uh, so these are like ultras. And passive is inertial noise, compass, accelerometer, gyroscope, or computer visions kind of mark based on that. And hybrid tracking combined both vision and inertial. So in active tracking, what we use is we generally use Wi-Fi, your positioning system, or from the Wi-Fi, getting the Wi-Fi or any cell location, you will get your position track. Or from passive, what you can do is on your compass coordinate, you can get your this thing. Or else you can actually use any building or a feature, and based on that you can decide the location where you are in.
Mhm.
So this is passive tracking. This is active tracking, is like wherever you move it will actively track it. This is passive tracking, is when you are at a certain position then only it can track it. Okay, hybrid tracking is combined of both. Means tracking with respective um, active and passive. Okay, so we can have all this tracker in your devices and use this to develop an AR application. These are like in-depth concepts, and each means we won't be going in detail because it is for high-end applications. Okay. Uh, so each of the tracking technologies, mechanical tracking, mechanical arms with joints, advantage, so each of the tracking we will get this. No, it's like mechanical tracking. So it's like based on this is completely on a mechanical type. So based on your position, where it is, you can have the position of the arm and you can place that, you can get the data accordingly. Okay, and each one has its own advantages and disadvantages. Means again I will share you this slide since it's more into depth there. We don't use any devices, so you for information perspective you can read this slide. And this is optical simple okay. So this will be useful. So how does a simple marker based application work? Okay, how does an actually a ER application work? So what happens is the video whatever you see through camera is streamed from the camera. Okay, and from the streamed camera it will always track with the search of markers. This marker doesn't mean it should be a marker, otherwise it should be a marker or any point of contact you have within your cloud or data. For example, if you have a object recognition, there should be an object for your in your cloud to recognize the object. Or if you are in a current position, you need to have a cloud reference point that in this position you need to be projecting the data. So from the video stream, you can search for the markers or any kind of thing, and find the marker position and orientation. So then next, after getting the marker, it will find its position and orientation. What is the position exactly? How far it is? How depth it is? And again, what kind of rotation orientation it is? What is this rotating angle? So that you project the data accordingly. Okay, so these positions and orientation marks are then, as I said before, everything you project will have its markers, it will place its key points on it. Like in the case of the object I have shown you, like it will generate the rough idea of the markers, it will track the key points, depicting the bounds of an object or the location or something. So based on it will identify those markers, and each identify markers uh, will be uh, will be generating the data, positioning the object with the marker position and its orientation. If your marker or object is rotated in 30 degrees, you don't want the object to be facing to your side, right? It should be by the way you are rotating, your device is rotating, the object should also rotate to your side. So this will calculate itself its transform consists of position, scale, and rotation. So it will handle all these three and positions the object in aligning with that, and the end it will render onto your end device. Okay, hello,
Yeah. Got it.
got it. Okay, so I will show you how is the key points being generated.
Okay.
Huh. So if you have this model house, if you are imagining you want to mark this or imagine an object, so this is how the key points are added. It will The algorithm inside the plugin will check all this, mark everything at this, as markers. Consider all these points as a key points.
Okay.
Okay, it's something which we don't win, and it's our algorithm which is already defined. So
Mm-hmm.
it will calculate all the key detection points, and then based on that it will project the data accordingly. For example, the car, as I said, it will generate all these key points, the
Mm-hmm.
shape of the car, and based on the shape of the car, if it's a BMW or if it's a normal Maruti Swift, it will compare the shapes, it will generate the key points, and based on that you can generate the data.
Okay.
Okay. uh, Again, if you have a 3D model object, this is how this if we, this is your 3D model object, it will recognize this as like that. This is the key point, imagining this as the edges and the planes, and generating a mesh like this
Yeah,
used
yeah,
with the plane.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. So so I guess that's it. This is again a slam, which is for GPS means geolocation, how it works. So this is again very in-depth concept. So I will explain this in the next session.
Okay.
Okay.